Welcome to our cheating stories. Where OP finds out her boyfriend has been cheating in exchange for drugs. Let's get to it. Story 1. Found out my boyfriend cheated on me with a man for drugs. Backstory. My boyfriend, male, 21, and I, female, 21. Had been dating for a year and 3 months. During this time, we became very bonded, very quickly, and spent almost every day together. During our relationship, we discussed his past with cocaine. He was never addicted, he just liked to indulge occasionally. And his history of experimenting with men. None of this was a deal breaker for me, as we had talked about him not doing drugs from then on. He would still do coke, about once every 3 months, or so, which upset me, but again, not a deal breaker, because I know young people like to experiment and party, and I figured he would sort this out later in life. It had been quite a while since this had happened, though, maybe 6 months, so I thought that part was over. At the moment, we were both living at my parents' house, temporarily until he could afford a place to live. Story. Last Sunday, my boyfriend, we will call him Will, went out for a social event with some coworkers. I was supposed to go, but had to work that night, so I couldn't. They went to a place in the city I had visited a few times before, so I knew a little bit about it. One thing I knew was that they closed early on Sundays, normally around 11 p.m. Well, he texted me at 2, saying they had just left, and he was going to spend the night at his coworker's house, because he was too drunk to drive. At that point, I knew he was lying, but there was nothing I could do from where I was. He didn't come home until 10 p.m. the next night. I asked him where he was, and he said he got food poisoning and couldn't drive. Then I asked him where he was last night, after he went out with his coworkers, and he admitted that he had gone to a strip club. I didn't really care about him going to a strip club, but I was very unhappy that he lied to me. We talked it through, and I told him I forgave him, but I didn't want him lying to me anymore. Fast forward about 3 hours later that night. Things were still tense, and I still had a feeling he was hiding something from me. I hate being that type of girlfriend, but I couldn't help myself. I looked through his phone. There's a way to recover deleted messages on an iPhone, as long as it hasn't been longer than 30 days, so that's what I did. I found a lot of deleted messages, most of them about how coked out he was, and him trying to find more drugs, and then I saw the proof. The first thing I noticed was a message that said, "Your Tinder confirmation code is blank." My heart sank, my hands started to shake, and my chest got hot. I couldn't believe it. I really thought I wasn't going to find anything. I kept looking, and found out who he had met up with. He had texted this man, we can call him Stan, whom he found on Tinder, "Hey, it's Will," followed by, "Your little twink." Then, sent him some pictures of himself shirtless, from when he used to work out. The last text he sent said, "I'm 15 minutes away, I'll be okay." I have to block this number, because I don't want anyone to know about our little secret. I'll still have your contact information saved on my phone. I hope you understand. XOXO. I questioned him, and he immediately admitted it. He told me he went over to this guy's house and sucked his you-know-what. I later found out that he did it for coke, and that it wasn't for his pleasure, but I don't really believe that, considering his past. I told him to pack up his stuff and leave because, as I previously stated, he was living with me at the time. Also, since we had some trips lined up, in the near future, that I had paid for, and weren't refundable. He owes me a little over $1,500. I don't know if I'm going to get that back, which sucks, because I'm moving soon, and that's going to be expensive. Wait, there's more. I just found out, he was also doing meth that night. And had tried to cheat on me, weeks after we became official. And he had gone all the way, or attempted to, with the guy. And he had to DoorDash pills because he couldn't get hard. Yay me. Edit. I want to add that he is going to therapy, starting soon, which I'm very proud of him for. I wish him no harm, and hope he figures himself out, and lives a happy and healthy life. He was a good boyfriend, but not great, obviously. Part of me wants to be with him, or at least his friend. End of story 1. Now let's move on to the second. Story 2. Does it ever get better? My boyfriend cheated, and I need to rant. We'd been together for almost 8 years. We did fight sometimes, but it was nothing I thought we couldn't work out. We are very young, he's 22, and I'm 21, and we basically grew up together. Our lives were intertwined. We loved spending time together, we loved doing pretty much everything together. We were so alike, in so many ways, but we never got tired of each other. Every day for 8 years, I wake up, and go to bed, with the thought of him, with the comfort of having him. I loved talking to him, he really understood me, and he knew what I was about to say, even before I said it. We had similar hobbies, that we loved doing together. Being in his arms was my comfort place, it felt like home, and it felt like forever. I wanted it to last forever. It was magical, too good to be true. I don't know what happened. I really trusted him. His mom was dating this guy, and my boyfriend slept with the guy's daughter. He gaslit me, and then lied to me for 2 whole years about it. 2 years, that I thought were 2 of the best years of my life. We just felt so happy. It was all a lie. Back then, I suspected something was happening, because he kept going to their place, much more often than he ever went to visit his mom, but he kept reassuring me that she was just a friend. He went there that often because the apartment was big, and he had his own room to stay there. That he really loved me, and the usual I would never do this crap. I tried and tried talking to him about going there, but he always made me think I was delusional and making it all up. I was about to give him a last ultimatum, and was ready to break up with him, but his mom left the guy, and I thought that now we had all the time in the world to work this problem out. And we seemingly did. He apologized for gaslighting me, he apologized for breaking my trust and almost driving me to break up with him. He said he didn't know I felt that bad about this, although I spoke to him about it all the time. We talked it out, and I promised to never ever be that jealous if he could just not do this to me ever again. At this point I really thought nothing had happened. And then we had the happiest 2 years of my life. And then a week ago, he finally told me the truth, after me asking him again. I had asked him before too, but he had lied each and every time. He banged her, apparently twice. He lied about it at first, and said it was just once, but then confessed to it being twice. So basically, I don't really know the whole truth, and I don't think I ever will, because I don't trust a word he says anymore. I broke up with him, of course. And I am devastated. I know I shouldn't feel this way. I know I should be angry at him, and hate him, but I don't. All I feel is love for him, and care for him. He loves me too, and I just know he's in great pain too, even though it was all his mistake. I do believe he is a genuinely good person, but he does have personal issues. I couldn't put up with it, but I just know he didn't want for this to happen either. And I just miss him so much. He treated me so well, I always felt so safe in his arms. My heart filled with comfort every time I thought of him. I loved doing things with him. I loved talking to him. Now all the inside jokes, the cute nicknames, the interesting conversations, the flirting, the reassuring words, the words of love and comfort. They are all gone for good. I'm always waiting for him to call me, or text me, and sometimes I almost slip, and do it myself. I simply cannot live without him. I haven't eaten almost anything in a week, and whatever I ate, I threw up. There's a lump in my throat, and in my stomach, and I'm struggling to keep it together. I work, and I go to university, it's exam session now, and it's just so hard to keep myself together. Even when I'm doing something else, he's always in the back of my mind. And what's worse, is that I subconsciously still can't process the fact we're not together anymore, and each time I try to comfort myself, with the thought that after work I'll call him, and it will all get better, I have to slap myself in the face, and remind myself that no, actually I will not be calling him, not today, not ever. And this is enough to tear me up, each time it happens, multiple times a day. The moment I get home, I start crying, and I can't stop. The pain is unbearable. I've lost the person I thought I'd share my entire life with. We had so many plans, so many things we wanted to do, and to achieve together. And now we have nothing. He has to come pick some stuff up from my place, and I can't bear the thought of seeing him again. Without being affectionate, without knowing when, and if I'll ever see him again. He texts me sometimes, so I told him not to do that, because I can't get over him if he does. I wish I hadn't, because now I'm always checking my phone, hoping to get a text from him. My heart is tearing when I see him online. I know all of that is wrong, but those feelings are so strong. What I feel is in such great contrast with what I know, I really can't process it at times. Sometimes I just wish we could be together, like we were planning, and live happily like we used to. Sometimes it's so bad that I'm on the verge of calling him, and telling him to just come over, and we will work it out. It feels like a part of me was ripped, and it's getting ripped again each time I think about him. I truly believed he was my soulmate, and my forever person. And reality hit me in the face, so suddenly that I'm still confused. Those feelings can't go away. I don't know what to do. Has any of you felt that broken after a breakup? After cheating? What should I do? Please, tell me anything that might help in this situation. I am just so desperate. Does it get better? When will I feel even the slightest bit better? It's getting worse each day, and I can't bear it anymore. I know I need to see a therapist, by the way, and I've scheduled a session with one, but it's in a week, and I'm trying to survive till then. So thank you very much to anyone who has what to contribute with. End of story 2. Please subscribe, so you don't miss our daily video. And have a great day.